What's good, y'all? It's your boy Royalty back at you with another video, and I got a banger for y'all, man, coming from none other than the horse's mouth. We have a 2K developer talking about some of the different things to expect from 2K23 in terms of defensive body ups and other animations involving your strength, involving positioning on defense, the offensive solutions to get around that, and so on and so forth, man. So I'm not gonna talk too long, man. I'm gonna get right into it. We got a lot of good footage, a lot of good things to talk about, man. So I'm gonna play the footage, and then after that we can get into what you guys think about what was said. Okay, so here we go.
Along those lines, I think the last time I was on, I talked about the adrenaline, and I think I mentioned talking about it on the defensive side. For right now, let me clean that up. Right now, adrenaline is only on offense, but we are considering some different options, and so that may change by the time you guys actually get your hands on the game. But as of right now, today, adrenaline is just for offense. Defense, you do have the stamina bar, and you can see right now the adrenaline buttons on defense, but they don't drain. All right, so one of the changes that we want to make with the body ups is looking at today's NBA game. This is not the 90s, this is not the 80s, 90s where you could really hand check and box somebody up more so in a one-on-one defensive situation, right? And so what we wanted to do was look at how the body ups function. And what we found is that a lot of our users use the body ups as a crutch, right? The badge their players up or whatever, or if you're playing 5-on-5 with the NBA players, find somebody who's got good badges. And then you'll just constantly run into the offensive player and wait for the body up to happen. And today's NBA game is not about aggressive defenders, right? Because you don't have that hand check as a weapon. Really, it's about playing position. Today's game has more of a flow to it in terms of players driving to the basket. You really can't keep anybody out the paint because you can't lay a hand on them. So we wanted to create more of a flow with our body up system. So in the past, as you can see, number 5 here, Paxton, right? In the past, we had a very wide window to be considered driving right at the defense. So it really rewarded everybody on defense to just stay as close to the dribbler as you possibly could, right? Because you're going to get a body up and it's going to save you in most instances. And a lot of people think, well, hey man, that's great defense. I'm locking you up. Really, the body up is doing most of the work. And what we found is that the angle that we had here was super wide for the offensive player to be considered driving directly into the defense. And so what we did this year, if you can imagine 45 degrees on this side and 45 degrees on that side, right? Maybe even out to 50 degrees. If you pointed your stick in any of those directions, you were considered running into the defense, which means that the body ups were overpowered. We narrowed that window. It's much smaller than what it used to. As a defender, this is dangerous area for you. In our game, it wasn't dangerous at all because the closer you got, the more body ups you got. And as an offensive player, in order to beat that, you had to damn near point your stick to the baseline. To the sidelines to get out of that. But now that's much tighter. And so I wanted to do this video to talk about it because I think when the game first comes out, people who are used to just running into the ball and getting body ups are going to start sliding off. And I don't want you guys to think, oh, the game's broken or, I'm not playing great defense. If you're bodying up, right? Let's say we get into this situation. Your strength is that I can't go straight, right? But you don't have no strength over here unless you stick match me. And you don't have any strength over here unless you stick match me. So body ups are not the all-encompassing strength that they used to be. Your best defensive position is going to be to stay in front and to try to anticipate where he wants to go and get your chest in that position and not just smash body up all the way down the floor. In 2K23, when you're in these type of body ups, as the defender, you want to be thinking about when do I stop pushing my stick into him and when do I push my stick over here? Because as the offensive player, if he decides to make an adjustment from here and kind of angle his stick out this way first and then try to beat you on the corner, you're probably going to slide off. The body ups are not the catch-all that they used to be, and you want to be aware of that and try to play more position. If you find yourself getting your doors blown off really consistently, that's something that you want to watch. Are you playing the angles correctly? Are you gapping guys who can't shoot enough? And are you beating them to the spot?
Wow, so if y'all caught that, man, what he's saying is crazy. Because as a guard in NBA 2K22, I know what he's talking about when he says that you have to take a really wide angle to get around a defender that's pressing you. And actually, one of the things that I do whenever I guard somebody who's at a high level of dribbling is you're going to try to go run up on them. That's the best thing to do in this game is run up on them, get that body up animation, and try to just make sure you cut off the angles. And he's right. It's very easy to do that. It's much easier than standing back and trying to guess which direction they go. So now I guess in this upcoming year's game, we're going to have to actually really lock up and actually really have to shade towards a certain direction, have to really get up in the offensive guy's personal space and really see what you can do when you have to really anticipate which way he's going. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be making it hard for these defenders this year, bro. You're not just gonna be guessing which way I'm going, you know what I'm saying? You finna get hit with that left right for real, bro. That's crazy though, man. I'm looking forward to that challenge of being able to shake my defender.
So in the old 2K right here, you just run up on him, get the body up till he picks up the ball, right? But if you try that in 23, as it's currently tuned, what will end up happening is a smart offensive player will change the direction he's using his left stick, and you will get blown past, like you'll just slide back off of him here. We're trying not to reward over-aggressive defenders, especially further out on the floor. You should have to be more cautious out here. But there might be some people with enough stick skill to still give you a lot of problems out here. But offensively, you should have solutions. Another area with the body ups that we looked at is we made your skill, the ability of the players more important than it used to be. So before, your position was kind of the main thing that made the determination. But now we really look at the ability of the player. So let's say if Jordan has a clamp breaker and the guy defending him does not have clamp breaker, and Jordan is better in every other area concerning dribbling, you're not going to want to be up here pressuring him. He's going to eat your lunch. You're just going to get beat. You're probably going to get beat bad. So keep that in mind when you're looking and you're trying to give us feedback in terms of, well, I think, the offense is too powerful, this, that, the other thing. Are you just as a defender just sprinting into the defense expecting good results? So one of the things you want to be aware of, if you're a player with great strength, then you don't want to spend your time turboing left-right trying to go around somebody. If you have great strength and you got a strength advantage, you want to come right off of his shoulder than we do when you're driving around a defender. So you got a LeBron type build, you got anybody who's got a power game that got enough handle on the perimeter. You want to take sharper angles going to the basket because it's going to factor in your strength. And a lot of times you probably just, muscle them right out the way, especially if people like to cheese and not give their builds no strength.
So it sounds like they're saying strength will actually play a factor this year. I don't know. What y'all think, man? I think I remember them saying that about last year's 2K, and I know I had all 25 strength builds, and it did not play a factor this year, at least for me playing guard. But I mean, what y'all think, man? They saying if you got a stronger player, you'll be able to take less of a wider angle around the defense. Whereas if you're going to go speed, like I probably will, then you know what I mean? You're going to have to use that acceleration and turn the corner, man. That's very interesting, man. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how that's going to go when the game drops. Definitely going to be out there trying to see what it do with the speed and acceleration build. So look out for me on that note. But I'm going to let my mans get back to the video.
This is interesting. Sagisi, I think that's the name, says the problem is, though, that the defensive movement is so slow and clunky. Well, one thing that it's helpful to understand is that defense has to be concerned with facing. When you're on offense, you don't have to worry about your facing so much, right? You just plant and go. Defensively, are you facing your man? Are you facing help? Are you in the deny stance? And the change of direction has to affect your spacing sometimes, right? And so people don't mind sliding around on offense because it gives them an advantage, but they don't want to slide around defensively, right? They want foot planting. Well, that's unbalanced. If you slide around on offense, you got to be sliding around on defense too, right? So slowly but surely we've improved our defensive movement, but defensive movement is much harder than offensive movement. That's why it's been a little bit behind the offense. Offense is not concerned with his spacing at all. He just got to go. I think this is a pretty good example where it's talking about the difference between in 22 and before, right? When you get into this animation right here, as a defender, you could feel pretty solid, right? Because he's not going to get around you. That's not the case in 23. From here, you're in a bad position. Look at this, right? The only thing that's saving you right now is the fact that the body up is holding you, right? But if we take that crutch away, right? So if you have the defensive shading, which zone is he in? He's far right. If I point my stick directly at the basket or over here, you're done, right? This is no longer a strength move for you. You're done. So instead of this contested layup, he's all the way to the basket, or he's getting to the basket. Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to talk about. It's the concept of a neutral body up, right? You're going to see more neutrals this year where the offensive player can still drive, but the defensive player is still in position, and neither one of them is out of position at the end of that particular body up, right? So we want to see more neutrals instead of just pure losses, unless of course you're in great defensive position, right? So we always want to reward that too. So don't think of blow-bys as, oh, I left him in the dust. You know what I mean? Sometimes you'll get these neutrals where it'll be up to you and your decisions as you have that neutral as to what happens next.
Wow, so he unloaded a lot right there, man, and gave us a lot to think about in terms of the defense, how it will be played, what angles you'll need to be taking, whether you need to gap, considering whether you're stronger or faster than the opponent, than your matchup. It's just like so many things to think about there, man. What did y'all think about everything that he had to say? Let me know in the comment section, man. Did you think this was like, exciting? Like, are you excited about the defensive changes? Or are you worried? Do you feel like there's not going to be enough defense played? Because to me, it sounds like them blow-bys is going to be abundant, man. It sounds like it's going to be a lot more trying to get a block at the rim more than just bodying up your offensive guy as you can do in this year's 2K. So that's going to definitely be interesting. Also, I'm definitely loving all the information that's coming out, man. I'm sure, it's a lot of things that they haven't told us about yet, but I am happy with the things that I have learned, man. I'm excited about the new defensive system. I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually excited to see what these adrenaline bars are about to do and a lot of the new badges. So that's another thing that we're going to be looking out for when the game drops, man. I'm just generally excited. It's around that time of year, man. 2K about to be out. It's about to be cracking. We finna be going at it, man. We going to be in the lab getting right. So stay tuned, man. Keep rocking with your boy, man. Like and subscribe, man, if you new. And, yeah, bro, I'll definitely keep it coming with the bangers, man. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about that video in the comments, man. And if there's anything that I didn't touch on enough or you feel like wasn't covered, man, let me know. Holla at your boy. But until then, till next time, it's your boy Royal T, and we out.